mathematics lesson can be used successfully when 1. The pupils can be able to understand the concept. 2. When the pupils can be able to use math in their daily activities. Example, buying and selling. 3. When pupils can be able to use mathematical knowledge to solve problems. 4. When pupils can be able to solve problems mathematically. Example, change fractions to decimal. 5. The use of concrete objects. 6. Playway method. 7. Group work activities. 8. Motivation stroke reward. 9. Class control. 10. Interactive. 11. Independent practice. 12. Guided practice.
Successful lesson for class 3. First and foremost, as you enter in the class, you greet. Say class greetings. From there, you ask them for today's day and dates. From there, introduce the new material with what you want to teach. You tell them that today we are going to teach on counting from 5 forward and backward, 5 to 50 in fives. First, you draw your number line on the board and you write these figures from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on and so forth. Then the other step, you ask the people to read in groups as we are sitting here, and also you ask them to read individually. Then you ask them to come outside and count from 1, 10, 15, up to 50 in the class. The other step, you ask people to learn how to count backward, wherein you start from 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, and so on. Then you come to independent practice. You ask the people to write from 1 to 50. Then, after they have done that, you ask the people to circle the numbers from 5 to 50. As we have done the example here, along the line, the number line. They circle the numbers 5, 10, 15, and so forth. From there, you ask, when the closing, the teacher corrects the people's workbook. After you have done that, you give an assignment.
Successful lesson. Last time, 2018, 12th week, I was with class 2 pupils teaching them mathematics. The topic was pre-numbers activities. Counting from 0 to 9, forward and backward. Learning how to score. By the end of the lesson, pupils will be able to count, describe, and identify numbers from 0 to 9. Teaching aids. A chart showing numbers from 0 to 9. Example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Opening. 1 point. Today we are going to learn about counting numbers from 0 to 1. 2. Teacher asks pupils to count from 0 to 1. 3. Teacher asks pupils again to count the numbers 3 times, loudly. 4. Teacher hangs and displays the teaching aids for pupils to look at the numbers on the charts. 5. Teacher reads the numbers on the chart 2 times and pupils repeat after him. Introduction to the new materials. Teacher asks the child how old he or she was. She replied, I am 7 years old. Teacher asks another child how old he was. He replies, 6 years old. Guided practice. Teacher writes and says, which number are these? Teacher discards the numbers. 0, 3, 7, 2, 1, 5, 8, 4, 6, 9. 2. Teacher calls out pupils individual to point out and name the numbers stated on the board. Independent practice. Teacher asks pupils to point out any number said by the teacher, one after the other. Example, 0, I call. pupils points. 0. 7, I call pupil points. 5, 4, 3, 9, 6, 2, 8, 0. Teacher asks pupils individual to come out and write any number called by the teacher. Teacher call a number, pupils write. 0, pupils write. 5, pupil write. 7, pupil write. 8, pupil write. 2, pupil write. 1, pupil write. 9, pupil write. 4, pupil write. 6, pupil write. Okay? Teacher asks pupils again to come out and write any number called by the teacher. The pupils go out to the board, another group, 0, 5, 7, 8, 2, 1, 9, 4, 6, 3. Closing. Teacher asks pupils to do number game on the blackboard. They go out and do number game. Teacher call out 3 pupils to the board to write a number. Like 1, the first place you write it, if you can understand. 2, teacher call 3 pupils to the board to write a number. You do that. Teacher call out another set of pupils to the board to read the numbers on the board, on the blackboard. Last, teacher call out a set of teacher assess pupils practically and orally. This is taken from the LPA. And this lesson was a successful lesson taught for class 2.
I choose a topic in the syllabus and refresh on it before preparing a note of lesson. Secondly, I prepare a note of lesson before teaching any topic for me to master and follow the sequence of the topic. Thirdly, I prepare teaching aids such as flashcards, geometry, instruments, counters, etc. to induce and ease the work of the teacher and the understanding of the pupils. Fourthly, before presenting the new topic, I induce the pupils to brainstorm on the previous topic to know whether the last topic was well taught and familiar to the pupils. I now introduce the new topic to the pupils. Fifthly, we brainstorm on the topic, allowing the pupils to bring feedbacks. Divide them into groups and allow them to interact and share ideas for presentation. Sixthly, I guide my pupils whenever I give them a task or problem to solve. Also, I cross-check their work for corrections. I make sure that 95% of the pupils are well-grounded on the topic before proceeding to another topic by giving them exercises such as classwork, quiz, test, etc. Due to their outputs, led me to proceed to another topic or make conclusions. I praise pupils for their good participation.
In class 1, in my introduction, I asked the pupils what they understand about the word addition when I introduced addition to them. Some of them were able to give me some answers, and while others were struggled, but all of them were encouraged to participate in class. In my presentation, I present counters and numbers on the board that we are to add together. Then I call the boy and a girl and give them 2 counters each. And I asked them to put them together, and they did. Then I asked the class what have they done, and some say they put together. Then I told the class to count the counters, and we did it together. And we were able to get 4 as the answer. Then we all come to the conclusion that addition means to put together. And we continue to do the addition row after row by using numbers from 1 to 10, and it was very successful. In my evaluation, I gave them classwork, and 90% of the pupils were able to answer the questions. And the class was participatory because everybody was encouraged to take part, which make it a successful.
We sound the opinions of the children, that is by thinking, and then the topic and discuss with them. And they will all have their own views, experience, we will send them up. And by so doing, this will help them to increase their critical thinking. Moving from that point, we develop the components of the lesson using questioning and direct statements and other activities, giving them tasks, making the pupils to think on any ideas which came up from them. That stage. Another aspect is working requires a lot of time and use several instrumental materials with the pupils in the lesson. When this is done, an example is put on the board for the pupils to see. And they will come up and then present this example, they themselves. And then we integrate the formative assessment by encouraging critical feedback and reflection that the pupils do to continue decisions of what the pupils cannot. So can learn to real situation. At the end, when doing the lesson, allow pupils to prepare in group and then make them have activities tasks given to them. Support every child when they are in the working. Lastly, we also see how best we can able to bring them together and see how best the work can go effectively. That ends the success lesson.
On what I have prepared on a lesson group. The first thing we should do is to preparation on the part of the teacher. That is reading around the subject area. The teacher has to be versatile in that area. He has to know the subject area so that he will not be cornered by students. Then getting teaching aids available in environment. Example, sticks, stones, bottle tops, and individual pupils in the class. You can use them as teaching aids, etc. Then the teacher must have the love for the subject you are teaching and encourage the pupils to have love for that subject. Secondly, we have to involve the children in a series of introductory activities on the previous knowledge. Then we introduce new ideas to pupils, giving them opening activities, example, reading in 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5, to enable them to understand the new concept. Secondly, involve pupils at individual, group, and peer level exercises. Allow each pupil to participate in the lesson. Give them an independent work to be done in class and go around, mark, and help the weaker pupils and do corrections. Give pupils home practice work to be done at home and make sure you mark it the following day. Evaluate yourself and the pupils to see whether you did correctly.